Hey guys, I've got my partner Stevie here with me, and we're going to work a little bit on being in the mount position and self-defense aspects if I'm the dominant one in the mount position, with strikes and stabilising your position. So obviously we want to stabilise our position first, and then we're looking at striking, and striking not so much to knock the person out, but establish a submission, I guess you could say. So, Stevie's on his back for me. So, perfect angle, too good. Okay, so we're going to work on the premises that this guy knows something, okay? So, one of the escapes that he might try to do is he'll have his elbows in and he'll be pushing on my hips like so, to keep pushing Stevie like so, to escape and get me off. Right? So the first thing that I want to do when I notice that is I scoop under behind the back of his neck and hold the crown. And as I hold the crown and he's pushing, I pull, and you might want to push your hips a little bit forward too so it gives you a sliding effect. And if you need to, both hands grab and it's like a cranking effect. And as he tries to push me off, go Stevie, it's very, very hard for him to try and get any power here. When I feel the power release, I let go with one hand and start punching. As I start punching, he obviously blocks my hand, okay? So he's not going to go to my knee. If I do this, that's what's going to happen. His hand's going to block mine, okay? Or it'll come up to here. Now let's say, for example, we're here in this situation. I've hit him a couple of times. Now I'm going to push his elbow, catch behind, underhook, like so. And now, rather than grab my own bicep, I go over the top like this. Place my hand underneath and I grab my other elbow. As I dismount, my chin turns his arm over. And then I put pressure on him. Now, the reason why I haven't got this on the bicep is because it limits me, the closure. But with this arm being underneath, you can scissor it and go as tight and as low as you want. So that's the reason why I don't go to here to do this or to do this, because my own hand stops and blocks myself. So I put this under. Then when I get to here, I can put enormous pressure on him. Now, if for some reason that doesn't work, you guys can always bring your knees up, come over the top, catch his wrist like this, and get a submission here. If he uses this hand to save himself, I flick my heel under his neck, flat-footed here, throw my leg over, and diagonally go on an arm bar. I don't want to go horizontally because a man has much more strength and power this way. He's much more weaker this way. So if I go for my submission, I want to go diagonally up. Okay? So let's try that again. Same one. I'm in the mount position, self-defense in the street. He's pushing on my hips. I catch his neck. I lift it, keep my elbow in and start cranking his neck. Two hands if I need to. Even a little twist will help. He's much weaker that way. When I feel the power release, cock my hand back, start hitting. Okay? If he does a high elbow like this, palm it, go underneath it, slide this hand underneath, catch it here. Be conscious that he still might try and bite your ear, your cheek or your neck. Very hard with his own arm in the way. I post, start to dismount. My arm goes underneath my own hand and underneath his head, and I catch my own elbow. I twist, pressure. You can see it's like enormous pressure on his neck to finish him. If for some reason it's not working and I feel myself getting tight, bring my knees up to stabilise my mount, my side control position, and I take this hand, elbows on both sides, and if you can, tuck his head in a little bit to have better control. And I start going at his wrist. His arm comes around mine and he tries to save this. I hook this. You can hold your own collar or even place it on your shoulder. This hand can come out and block his hip in case he tries to recover guard, or on his hip in case his legs flick up, depending on how the situation feels to you guys. I flick my ankle near his head, flat-footed, my leg over, diagonally. Knees together to the ceiling and get the submission. Okay. So, that's from a top situation, and he's pushing on my hips. Another thing that they might try and do is push on your knee. So, I'm in the mount, Stevie turns a little bit and he starts pushing on this knee. Yes, you can scoop this off, okay? Another option is I've got head control with my bicep and I steer his head away. And it's subtle, so he loses power in his push. So while he does that, I start hitting this side of his face. Here. This hand comes up. Or it holds my bicep. Because if it does that, we already know to go to head arm choke. Okay? If he catches my arm, I post, walk it around, catch his wrist. My hand underneath, I have 2 fingers. I attempt, because in a fight, you know that you're aiming for it, but it might not happen. So I'm aiming to have 2 fingers on his hand, 2 fingers on below his wrist. My other hand, palm up, scoops under, rotates, grab my own wrist, over the top, Americana. Okay? So Stevie's pushing on my knee to escape. I do this to stop him. This elbow will probably be in for now, because he's not thinking I'm going to hit him yet. I start punching, blocks my arm, hand on the floor. Walk it up if you need to, or walk it up. Catch in, under or under, over, head. Move his head, okay? Don't leave it here where it's loose. I want to separate his power so his head's kinked. My right leg grapevines his leg in case he tries to buck me. I pull in and lift up an elbow. You've got to try and separate the power, okay? I don't want it together, because for him to escape, he's either got to curl his wrist and get his arm in, or he's got to turn towards it and get his elbow underneath his body to escape Americana. So when I'm doing this, it's harder. Not impossible, but much, much harder for him. Pushes on this knee, take away his power. Okay? Because there's 2 ways that you're going to take away someone's power, like in this example. Either completely at their extension, or when it's completely in close. People haven't got as much power right in here. If you can imagine someone getting a heavy weight and trying to bench press, it's right in here. They can't lift. Or right at the end of their extension, there's nothing there. But if someone starts here, they can start getting power and benching. So basically, when I'm stretching his head, he's at the end of his extension. Okay? So as he pushes, I'm posting. I kink his neck. Once I place it here, I start striking. Here. If he's got a high elbow, like this, I'm going to knock it, get to here. Okay, dismount and do my thing. If he blocks my arm, here, I'm going to find a way. All right, hold it, Stevie. Straight arm, I'm going to look as if he had his hands on my chest, and I'm doing this to get through his power. So if his arm's stiff and he's holding it, I'm circling and spiralling, trying to find a way through his power until the arm collapses. That's a huge thing that you guys can relate everywhere, to the legs and so on. So when I'm like this and I'm punching him and he holds it, I'm looking to collapse it, to get to here, under, over, kink his neck, look for that if you can, and then scoop. That's part 1.